Hello, everyone. Happy orbital completion. We've survived another trip around the sun. And coincidentally, humanity is getting further and further away from the sun. But we'll get to that soon. Welcome to Jugs in 2026. How are you?
Ooh, I love what you did there. I love the pun.
I'm great. Yes.
Getting away from the sun.
Give me 40 seconds to think and I'll come up with something silly.
It worked. It was perfect. Perfection. I'm good. Things are fine. I'm really exhausted this morning, but other than that, life is fine. It's crazy out there, bombing other countries and invading them and
Holy
starting.
crap. All right, so let's take a second.
Hard day was of a wonderful president.
Right. We don't focus on politics, but we don't shy away from it either. And so a friend of mine, he was visiting relatives over the holidays. He was away for the holidays. He came back to the news about the attacks in Venezuela, which he was like, holy fucking shit. And while we were discussing that, I just happened to mention the attacks in Nigeria. And he's like, wait, what? Like, we're attacking nations so fast. He took a trip for a weekend and completely missed that one.
I had no idea.
Unreal. The sheer chaos this fucking demon in the White House is doing.
Exactly. Thinking about bombing Iran again. Mm-hmm.
What to do? Yeah, I have a uncle through marriage that's Nigerian that went to visit his family. I don't know if he came back yet, but when it happened, he was like stuck.
Oh no!
So hopefully he came. I don't even know if he came back. I haven't talked to my mom yet to see if he came back yet or not.
Hope he's all right.
And then they have all these bans, all these Caribbean countries that you can't go to, including Puerto Rico, because of it.
What do they think they're doing?
Puerto Rico?
We know what they're doing, but they think we're stupid, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what it feels like, that they can get away and say whatever they want and will not be called to the carpet. They've proven that that's the case. Yeah. It's been happening for a year now.
Yeah, there was a press conference on Air Force One, I think it was yesterday, that was absolutely bonkers.
I didn't see it.
Comes down.
Did he call more people animal names?
No, but he basically said 6 or 7 times to 6 or 7 different questions that the entire thing is about oil, that we're going to go in and take all the oil. They're not going to he basically said we're not focused on having elections down there. So essentially what they did is they kidnapped the president. The VP is now, and he also said that he does not mind the word kidnapping. They're basically going to install the VP and let American companies run roughshod over Venezuela. So
just get in there with their shovel and start digging.
Yeah. Oh, and they also said Greenland is next.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that like a few weeks ago that they were talking about Greenland.
Yeah. So this is going to be.
He's back on that again.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how he thinks he can. He can't even manage.
He's trying to be a dictator.
He's not even a dictator at this point. It's he wants to be fucking Caligula, right? He wants to just conquer everything. He thinks he's entitled to it, I guess.
When he barely has control of this country, he's spreading himself too thin. I don't enjoy what's happening, but I don't feel like it doesn't
have real power. He has constitutional power, but nothing intrinsic of his own. So he's flexing as hard as he can in every direction he can to make his opponents think he's supremely powerful and unassailable.
Yeah. And especially if he can keep everybody struggling to understand what's happening, what the plan is, what they're doing next. Every day if you're hit with a new surprise, you just feel like you're doggy paddling and you can't get to shore.
Yeah, but if you're sitting here and you're watching it and you've paid attention to it, it's obvious what they're doing. And just they're going back to what the Axis powers were doing in World War II, where they're basically divided up the world between 3 superpowers and let them run.
Yes, Al. Al says that they will personally drive up there and defend Greenland if they have to.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah.
El can bring. El's a heavy hauler, so he can bring tanks. He can bring missile systems. He can get all kinds of goodies up there. Probably
some big tractors and all kinds of farming equipment.
Build a wall out of snow.
Yeah.
You can reach Greenland by car.
Yeah, I like this weekend I spent a majority of my time doing research about Erica Kirk. Don't ask me why. I've been going down.
No wonder you don't feel good.
That could be why I am not feeling like I'm exhausted. Seriously, like mentally exhausted. And so I didn't pay too much attention to everything that was happening between like Venezuela and Iran and Israel, etc. But just hearing the way that journalists, pundits talk about Trump, like the far right, or let's just say the center right, it's like they just excuse everything. Like they'll try to find a way as to why Trump should do it instead of like, hey, he's breaking the law. They'll find a way around, well, this is why he has to do A, B, C, D. It's just a bunch of
apologetics.
Yeah, but it's apologetics. That's all I've heard this weekend is apologetics. And it's kind of crazy that nobody thinks it's weird that a president of peace, he's getting recommended for the Nobel Peace Prize, is starting wars.
I wonder if all this talk we've heard in the last several years, about the Dugars and the all the different cults that have been getting their own documentaries, if the average American isn't looking at those and thinking, it'd be nice to be in a cult. Maybe I'd get a Netflix special. Or so they're like hellbound to be in a cult, even if they weren't, born into it. I don't know. I'm speculating.
Well, as someone who was born into a cult, I understand cults to some degree. This is a really culty cult.
Very
culty cult. Yeah, I don't know what I mean by culty.
You're not allowed to question. I mean, I get that, like the cults we hear about are the ones that are the most extreme, where you're not allowed to question. But there's this whole group of people, news reporters, whose entire job is to question, and they're not questioning.
Like, if that's why I'm like, it feels worse than being a Jehovah's Witness.
It is.
I mean, did they answer my questions when I asked them? No, I got some fluff, but I wasn't threatened. I mean, okay, maybe I was threatened with like a Jehovah's gonna be mad at me, but I didn't think I was gonna die like it is with like this cult. Like, oh my gosh, stray off the path.
It's like fascinating. It's a tangent, but let's be honest, people come here for the tangents. When I hear the elders of the Jehovah's Witnesses talk, it's like they're referring to a video game, like Tight Pants Tony talking about if you're inappropriately dressed, you're gonna lose your life.
Tight pants. No masturbation.
Like, you have to insert another quarter and start over.
Peace. I would love that. Is that a possibility? Another timeline? A little rewind? Redo?
Reroll the dice anyway.
Yeah, if we roll the dice, we probably would luck out and maybe do better. I mean, we could do worse. We could do far worse. But if we roll the dice, we might do better. Just saying, putting it out there. Anybody willing to risk it for a biscuit?
Oh, are there biscuits?
Bet on it.
Maybe a couple. Not just one.
I mean, if there's biscuits, that changes the whole thing,
Oh, yeah.
Are they garlic biscuits?
What kind of biscuit?
Garlic.
With gravy? With butter?
Garlic biscuits.
Gravy would be good too.
The lobster biscuits.
Raise your hand if you are strongly food motivated. And
everyone in the audience raises their hand.
What we're doing wrong with our marketing. Like, we're all strongly food motivated. A bunch of our audiences, even though we get complaints about whenever food comes up, they're like, oh, you bitches are making me hungry. I bet they're food motivated too, which means we should be talking about food all the time.
Well, I bet you that's why Jesus ended up turning the bread into enough bread for everybody and the fish to enough, because he knew that was the way to people's hearts. He's like, if I can just
Did
feed
he,
these
though?
people, they'll listen.
like-
they'll listen.
There's a lot of things that we point at that the Gospels say Jesus did that historians of the time would absolutely have made at least a footnote of, like darkness
right,
for
thank you.
hours, earthquake, zombies invading Jerusalem. The loaves and fishes is one of those. He fed 5,000 people. I mean, even in the
Wow.
modern day, when there's 8 billion of us, that's noteworthy. In the ancient world, when that's like a whole percent of the world's population, you know, that's a lot of fucking
got up
people.
and met at that time. They got 5,000 to actually meet up at that time in the area.
Right.
Yeah.
And if this is for the wedding, right?
The people who were there, nobody wrote a witness statement, like nobody put in their diary. I realized literacy was low, but when you're talking 1 or 2%, that's, you know, dozens and dozens of people who can read and write who were there in that 5,000, and nobody wrote down, hey, this Jesus dude did this fucking amazing miracle. Nobody, not one person wrote about it.
And why would 5,000 people be
nobody.
invited to a wedding?
What kind of
Back
fish
then.
was it? Then it wasn't gluten free. Bread.
I don't
It
even know
would be
any
the
wedding,
rare,
even one of the
infinite,
largest
fully
weddings in the
divisible fish.
world. I don't know any large wedding that's ever had 5,000 people in attendance.
No, there was
Kardashian didn't have that many.
No, it was one of the like sermons that he did.
He gave a sermon.
Oh, it was a sermon. Okay, so
he gave a sermon.
5,000 people came to his sermon.
Yes.
And okay.
Apparently, yeah.
They say
Mega
so.
church, ironically.
Yes.
But speaking of miracles, Chemical Scroll said they're making waffles for everybody.
Yeah, I know. Yum yum. I want waffles.
They didn't say everybody. They said they're making waffles. I'll put it for everybody.
The Duggars had 1K for each of the kids, like $1,000. What do you mean?
Or 1,000 followers, or 1,000 fishes. Ooh, 1,000 fishes. But maybe that's why the megachurch pastors are like this, because they're thinking of that story of the loaves and fishes, and they're like, well, if Jesus had 5,000 people for his sermon, I should be able to manage at least 2,000 for mine. And if I can do better than Jesus, well,
I guess. I just like I've been. I mean, my school. I'm trying to think of how many kids there were in my school. A few hundred or more. I mean, it was pretty large.
Size school.
And
I was at 1,500, I think.
And even in our stadium, like we had a very large stadium where we'd have schools come and play our games home, and I'm trying to think how many people would be there. Maybe 1,000. Maybe 1,000. And this one man thinks he's feeding 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay. If you think so, buddy. That's a little silly if you ask me, but
yeah. Sure you did, Bucko.
He was the Messiah.
I'm
so
rad.
5,000 people. He was a Messiah. Why are we questioning this?
That's
for realties. So on the subject of weather, we can. I really like that idea of the whole thing of, can the megachurch preacher do better than Jesus? Right? That's stuck in my head now. But that's not what this actually is about.
What about saying?
Right,
megachurches feeding people?
Yeah.
What?
Never. It's Yahweh's dimes. Don't you dare spend one. How else is Joel Osteen going to afford that, mansion that is several football stadiums stapled together?
But why does Yahweh need money?
For real. If you're all powerful, why do you need a bank account? But okay. It's wild. So we've got some material to look at today. And just to get us started, this is I believe it's a video that I think Jess sent us. I'm not sure. There's so much that's going on so fast. It's hard to keep track of stuff. And the channel this is from covers this issue like twice a month. So I'm not sure it's the right one. It doesn't matter. The point is, let's hear what they have to say about megachurches.
People will simply stop coming, and they won't come back. The parking lots that once required traffic directors now echo with emptiness. The coffee bars that served thousands now operate at half.
Now, it's worth noting, this is not a coffee bar. So
No.
what we're looking at, as you might expect, is an AI-generated video. It's an AI voice. The stock footage was put together by AI, and it was organized by AI, which means things don't actually make sense. But the words that they're saying, there may be something to it. So let's dig a little further.
There's some common sense to the words, but the video may not align exactly.
Yeah.
Capacity. The bookstores, the gift shops, the childcare centers built for armies of children now feel cavernous and hollow. This isn't just about one church. Across America, the mega church.
Childcare centers feel cavernous. Look, we're not here to critique this video. We're here to talk about the things it's presenting, but I can't help it.
But it's cavernous, Ember. It's cavernous. What's wrong with that?
Although,
and
a
if
fun
you
fact about-
want to find something cavernous and empty, never mind.
If you want to
What were
look
you
at
saying about Erica Kirk earlier?
Oh,
fun-
Erica Kirk's cavern has been explored more than we realize.
Oh no.
oh god.
Sorry, Erica.
There's anchor hooks in the cavern walls. There's light
Grappling
strung
hook.
above the top.
There's a grappling hook.
Oh my god.
Charlie's in there right now
Someone
trying to get out.
installed rail cart tracks.
Wait, and they're on one of them carts where they have to push up and down to get through it. One point.
Oh my
It takes teamwork. to
Teamwork.
spelunk in
We're gonna
there.
get out of here.
You know, I
see
mean,
light
in
at the
fairness,
end of the tunnel.
if you want to go spelunking in a dangerous location where, I mean, let's be honest, men who've gone there have died. If you want to go spelunking there, bring a buddy.
Oh, that's good. This is funny. I like it. I like making fun of Erica. I'm sorry.
Nobody clip that.
Yeah, please don't clip that because
No, we definitely won't. No one here would be so crass.
Never, ever, ever.
Oh my goodness.
Church bubble is bursting, and the sound is deafening in its silence. To understand why this is happening, we need to go back to where it all began. Because the megachurch wasn't always the face of American Christianity.
I mean, we don't have to go back to where it all began, but I'm really glad he did because we're gonna have shit to say about it.
50 years ago, it barely existed. The story of its rise is the story of American ambition, marketing genius, and a fundamental misunderstanding of what people were actually searching for. Robert Schuller stands in an Orange County drive-in movie theater in 1955. He's conducting a church service from the roof of the...
Point of order, that drone footage was not from 1955. Just in case anyone's confused.
snack
my
bar.
goodness.
Cars are lined up, families sitting inside them, listening to his sermon through speakers hung on their windows. It's bizarre, it's revolutionary, it's quintessentially American. Schuller understands something that traditional churches don't.
Even in 1955, the baby boomers were already in their 80s.
They were in their 80s watching the movies. Oh, man. Damn.
American
With plastic straws
Right?
in 1955.
I'm sure.
I don't think they didn't even have plastic credit cards until like 1958, 1959. Like they had cellophane in 55, but you were a long way from fucking commercially viable straws.
want convenience. They want comfort. They want church without the stuffiness, without the guilt, without having to dress up and sit on hard wooden pews. Within 2 decades, Schuller's Crystal Cathedral...
But isn't the pageantry part of church? Like, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but my grandmother, like, getting all gussied up and whatnot. It was part of the ritual. It was an excuse to be somewhat vain because you want to look good for the Lord or the
Right.
God or the whatever they call
Yeah.
him. You know?
Appropriate. Yep. Dress appropriately. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Becomes a glass monument to this new vision. 10,000 windows, nearly 3,000 seats. Services broadcast on television to millions. The theology.
Okay, so he's talking about the Crystal Cathedral, but he's not showing it. And it's not hard to show. There are photos all over the internet.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, if an AI can get an actual photo of a real thing, why doesn't it just do that instead of just making it? I don't know. Whatever.
It bugs me a lot. But yeah, this is
Oh God, and that's so different than what they just pictured.
Yeah.
right. It's square, it's corporate, but they can say it's a church, but I mean the point is it's got 10,000 windows. That was the whole marketing thing. Is it's like all windows.
I mean, it's beautiful from the outside. I don't get church when I look at it, but
I mean, there's a cross nearby.
they're in the vicinity.
Yeah.
And that counts. Counts for a church.
But remember, this wasn't just the Crystal Cathedral was one of the earlier mega churches, but it was the live studio audience was basically set dressing. The point of it was the telemarketing, the being on public access channels across the country or whatever the fuck they did, because that was how they did their fundraising. You're never going to get a collection plate big enough that it can even compare to the fundraising you can do with national broadcasting, you know? It wouldn't surprise me if they paid people to attend to make it look like the church is packed so that viewers get more enthused or something.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. They do it for Trump and things of that nature when it comes to politics. Why wouldn't they do it for church attendance?
They don't even do it well for Trump. Like, remember his birthday dictator parade with the squeaky wheel? Yeah. Like, that's the attendance when they paid people to show up? Holy shit.
I can't imagine.
It's wild.
And the thing is even like churches compared to Trump, with churches, you can guilt people into giving more because their souls are at stake. You can't really do that with Trump so much.
Souls.
Yeah.
Souls. My ass.
I don't know. Maybe that's part of the attraction of the Trump cult is this. They know they're going to go to hell for supporting him. So it's a risk. It's, will Jesus forgive this? You know, I don't know.
I want to know, Sapphire, you remember going to a Christmas play of some sort at the Crystal Cathedral? Do you remember anything about it? I'm just curious, like what they do, the amount of money they spend, you know?
Yeah, what kind of production value? But do remember that was one of the earlier ones, so their budget wasn't anything like, you know, Mark Driscoll's Trinity Church, where they build a working roller coaster on stage for one bit. Like,
for real?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a prop for one bit, you know?
I want to ride a roller coaster on a stage. It would be fun.
Kind of fun, doesn't it?
It would be fun. I'm just not sure that that's an appropriate place to have an amusement ride in a church.
I'm like,
what do I know?
I mean, maybe in the child daycare, but I mean, that's sort of the thing, right? Is they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and amassing huge amounts of money, but they don't put it into things that make any sense from what they're preaching. We need to care for our community and take care of each other. No, they spend it on roller coasters on stage or a fourth private jet, you know?
Right. Like, what's his name? Is it Olstein? But there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of those big mega church pastors who have their own personal private planes and large fancy cars and take vacations and still continue to push people to give money because God needs it.
Mhm.
But it's all I guess because it's that what prosperity gospel, you give to the church and God's going to give back to you. That's how it works. They think that one
Yeah.
day they're going to be rewarded because they give every last penny that they have. They're like the best example of a humble Christ lover. I give everything I got.
But that's the thing. Jesus, oh my goodness, this is one area where I wish they'd follow what Jesus said better. Jesus did not say, sell everything you've got and give every penny to me. He said, sell everything you've got and give every penny to the poor. He didn't want anything to do with your filthy capitalist wealth.
Your filthy capitalist wealth.
So they
Yeah, I
said
know
to
that,
give the
right?
money. Yeah, they
Go
were
ahead, I'm
saying if
sorry,
you
Kelly.
give the money, then you get it back threefold
Yeah, right.
when
Exactly.
you get to heaven.
Because they always throw that in their face, the example of the woman who had nothing, but she had a lot of faith and she gave what she had, and that was like so wonderful. Like they always pounded that story into our head, how we should live, because they just want you to be broke and giving all your money to them.
Yeah, you don't need your money. God will take care as long as you're following God. And if you die of starvation, well, you must not have been following God properly. Did you hear about the rich person who, instead of doing what the Bible said to do, tried to use his wealth to figure out how to get a camel through the eye of a needle?
What?
He was like, well, if I can figure out how to get a camel through an eye of a needle, then I can get into heaven and still be rich. Apparently, he thought it was a loophole of some kind. Now, it's an apocryphal story. It's probably a retelling of something that's supposed to make rich people look foolish. For example, we don't have a name. We don't have a date. It's just a
Right.
thing people say. But
Mhm.
I find the story amusing because instead of trying to be a better person, he took a camel and liquefied it. Like even the bone.
I was going to
blended it
say
up,
that you can
and
do
then
it.
funneled
Liquefy
it through the eye of a needle and went, look, I can
Ooh.
do it. If you're rich enough, you can do anything.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly what I was thinking. I was like, that's one way you could do it.
That's the kind of ish that bothers me. It's like finding the loophole. It's like finding the loophole in Judaism. Why do you have to find the loophole? Then just freaking ignore it. If it's something that you're going to dance around, why are you even observing? I truly just don't
Because
get
it's
it.
the word of God. You have to do
Kelly's got a thing. Kelly
Unless
says
there's a
no
loophole.
evidence for NDEs other than a person's story. So some of you know, some of you don't. I've had an NDE, and I realize that makes it a person's story. But here's the thing. My experience doesn't matter. The only thing that matters about it is that it is totally different from every other experience I have ever heard reported, which tells me as a skeptic that it's a function of brains. If I ever encounter somebody who tells me they had the same experience I did, then maybe there's something external to investigate. But until then, it appears to be a function of brains. And I'm not going to say what my experience was because I want to know it if somebody does have the same experience. And if I put it out there, then people can parrot it back to me. You see?
Understood. I get that.
Yeah.
I like what Rainbow Ash said. If you need a loophole, it's probably not real. Like, and I totally get it in the laws where we have loopholes, there's tax loopholes, yada, yada, yada. People, try to dance around. I just find that very frustrating.
Okay,
I'd
I'm
rather just
gonna be
things
a
be straight.
little lost. Are we talking about near-death experience or something else? I just want to make sure.
I think near-death experience.
Yeah.
I think. Is
Okay,
that what you guys
okay,
were talking about?
Indeed. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was indeed.
Me too. I assumed that's what they were talking about, but
yeah,
it's
me
probably
too.
confirmed. They could be talking about something completely different.
Let me let my stupidness come out and ask that question.
Let me make sure I'm on the same level as y'all are on the same page.
Yeah. I'm so intelligent, and I'm just like, yeah.
GSM says a phone bill once gave me an NDE.
I had $1,000 phone bill one time back in the day when I didn't realize that they charged you for calls that came in. Yeah, that happened. That did happen. Those were the days.
That's just rude. Although in fairness, before I knew what collect calls were, remember in like it must have been the early 90s, they were running those commercials about you don't need money for a payphone, just use 1-800-collect.
Yes.
So I was calling everyone with 1-800-collect because I was a kid. I didn't have quarters to put in the payphone.
You're just
So I was
calling
people from
everybody.
payphones.
Then you got
And then they'd be like, "Do you know how much that fucking call cost me?"
But wait. Did you guys ever do that thing, that little trick? Do you ever do that little trick where they say, okay, who's calling? And you have to give your name and then they repeat it back to the person to see whether or not they're going to accept the collect call. And you say, pick me up at 8:00 and then hang up the phone.
I sure did.
Oh,
do
that's
that.
that's my kid telling me I got to pick him up, and it's free. I mean, you didn't have to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, we had
I
a
used to
baby.
do that all the
I
time.
did.
I saw a commercial on YouTube like 2 or 3 days ago. I was like, hey, I remember that.
I guess that was a loophole. Sorry, guys. I
Because I
found the loophole.
remember, like,
I know we're not getting into heaven now. We've been practicing loopholes.
We've been like my uncle. He would come
Loophole,
see us. He
loophole.
lived in Lansing, about an hour and a half drive from house, and so that was kind of a long distance phone call in the 80s. So we would say, okay, you call twice, hang up, call once again, and call again, and then we know that it's you, and you made it home safely.
Yes. I remember those things. Oh my goodness. It's bringing it all back when you had to just play little phone games and stuff because you didn't want to pay for stupid. It's so ridiculous how much they charge for these phone calls.
Mm-hmm. And it was pure capitalism. But I mean, the creativity is kind of fun. People have always done that. They've always come up with codes for things when they're not allowed to communicate a certain way, or you get punished for communicating, or whatever the case may be. Like whether we're talking about purple paint on fence posts because putting up warning trespassers will be shot is considered illegal in your area, whatever the case may be. There's little codes during the pre-Civil War, the antebellum, not antediluvian. That's a different thing. The antebellum
really
in the
different.
US. My brain is not up to speed, folks. We're doing our best. The Underground Railroad, right? Like obviously the slave catchers were running around trying to catch the slaves. So you couldn't just put up a sign saying escaped slaves sleep free at the Holiday Inn or whatever, it just, you can't do that. So they came up with a system of symbols, but they had to be obscure enough the slave catchers wouldn't figure out where the safe houses were, but clear enough that an illiterate escaped slave could figure out what they mean. And that was a trick. And if you ever look into the history of the symbols they used to mark the pathway of the Underground Railroad, fascinating stuff. Completely off topic for today, but I wanted to throw it out there because the phone call pattern thing, it's like the knock on the door from the speakeasies.
Yes, a certain knock.
Have to do in order to get the guy to even open the thing and be like, what's the password,
Right. Yeah. That's interesting that now that you brought that out, it's like, we've, as humans, we've kind of found a way to do the sneaky sneak. I don't remember much of the symbols when it came to enslaved people knowing where they were safe. I feel like I remember one was somebody holding a lantern, like a little thing in the yard with a lantern.
The lawn jockey, yeah.
Lawn jockey. Is that true? Is that one of them? Isn't that one of them? Am I wrong?
I've heard people say that. I think it turned out to be a myth because
maybe it did.
It was like really, really rich people who owned jockeys. So, but
well, then I wouldn't be surprised that the story would be kind of twisted and okay. Looks like
it sounds plausible. So the tale is, and again, not 100% sure it's false, not 100% sure it's true. Just the tale is that people would have like a little jockey or something in their yard holding a lantern because jockeys were often black children because you owned the jockey like you owned the racehorse, right? And so the idea was that the little slave, the children will light the way. They're holding the light of freedom to help guide you on your path. And so if you saw one of those, it may not be like a proper stop on the Underground Railroad, but it was like putting a flag out that saes everyone is welcome here, It's like saying you're safe in this house kind of thing.
Wow. Like I think Kelly said something about Jewish people. Like, throughout history, had to come up with passwords and secrets and handshakes and whatever to hide from the authorities.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can communicate. That's always the struggle, is how do you communicate shared membership in a thing with another person when you meet them without letting everyone else know that you're both in this group that some people will hunt down.
Well, it's like the mystery religions, like back in the day. Why did Jesus always talk in parables? Because it was a secret. And to know those secrets, you had to be in the in crowd. Like you needed to be with the right group, and then you would understand the divine secrets that Jesus was going to share with you. Boobs! With a Z, though, with a Z.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was talking about. I was on Cynthia's channel, and so many people, like in the Black community, are talking about, they always try to mention that in the community that being Black is being religious and things. That's because that was the only place where we could have our meetings and talk about things without the master and them coming in invading us if we did it in the church.
Yeah. A
And
safe place, a safe haven.
Yeah, that was the only place to go, safe haven. And we could talk and have code. And that's how we learned how to do codes and new things like that. And we learned how to sing the African hymns that really were freedom songs that show you how to lead you on to the Underground Railroad with those songs and stuff like that. But they seemed religious.
And that's why I don't. That is why, for me personally, I don't feel comfortable digging in a Black person's ass when it comes to religion. I kind of leave that for you, Kelly. Like, it doesn't mean I won't talk about it.
Ryan, holy crap.
But I've not had to live in that world. So I feel like it's not for me to address some of those. It doesn't mean I won't talk about it, but I would prefer to platform someone like Kelly who can address like the importance of the church to the Black community, because it was a safe space, and where you could be taken care of, you could get food, whatever, healthcare, whatever that you needed at the time. So I don't know that I can say that today is the same exact thing. I feel like everything's kind of got off track, and it's more about the money than it is taking care of people. But it's hard to pull that out of people. Like, it's hard to get people to see that it's changed, that the church world has, not all, but a large majority has shifted away from the not original, but what it used to be is what I mean. What it used to be, the safe haven it used to be.
Is the whole Protestant movement happened because the original flavor church was so fucking corrupt. And Martin Luther and his buddies were like, no. We're not doing this anymore. We're not doing the selling indulgences. We're not doing the other dozens of things he was mad about. He was like, the point of the church is to worship and glorify God. We're going to get back to that. Thanks. And so there's always been corruption since the very fucking beginning. We see it in some of Paul's letters. Half of the letters are decrying corruption in the nascent churches that are just forming. They're in their first generation of worship service and they're already corrupt, It's frustrating as hell, but that's why there's Protestants in the first place. And so for a couple of generations, the Protestants held themselves up as we're doing this thing because we're better at the churchiness than the Catholics are. But it took a minute because they made that part of their identity. But the corruption sure as hell showed up, and in a big way. Mega churches, yay! Prosperity gospel.
Speaking of corruption, just real quick, Lil, let me just read this. Scythal A Goddess ICE has been in Columbus for a few weeks now. There have been protests at night where ICE agents sleep at their hotels and people are banging pots and playing loud music to keep them awake, and difficulty sleeping at night so they're not as alert during the day. I think it's beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
We love that. Power to the people. Sorry, Lil, what were you going to say, hon?
I do not remember.
I'm sorry. I should let you go.
Okay.
I was about to say, I wanted to take that sign-in bonus so I can help them. Like, I have the ICE agents help the people that was coming after. Brian, go this way.
I know.
I don't know where they went. I tried to catch them. I didn't get them.
I know.
$1,000 bonus.
I know of a sizable group of people who have applied and are just gumming up the works because they'll go through the entire process, get offered the job, and be like, no.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would only do that if I felt like I didn't have much of a online profile. Like for me, they would be, I couldn't go away with that. Right. But
Yeah,
some people don't go online, so there would be no way for them to know whether or not they're being serious.
Yeah, I know this like third or fourth hand, but I have the information on good authority that is happening, that there are people that are just gumming up the works with it.
And I love that for them.
I was sure going to do it for $100,000 bonus. I ain't gonna lie.
I know
Just
for a
get the
fact that they
money
were
and
getting so
run.
desperate that they were trying to pull people from other federal agencies like the FBI and crap over to ICE. And they're not having a whole lot of luck doing that either because the professional FBI agents don't want to go over to ICE.
Well,
They just don't.
they've already been pulled off
No.
to do jobs that they're not supposed to be doing, like going through the Epstein files and marking where Donald Trump's name is. But that's not what these people are paid for. They're supposed to be out there catching victims. I mean, not victims, catching criminals. Hello. And yet here they are doing like the stupid, silly work that somebody else should be getting paid to do. Let them do the other important stuff that allegedly this 3-lettered agency does.
Mm-hmm.
Gestapo. Agree. ICE is.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Exactly.
What do you think about
yes
church enforcers? Like, what if the church did the same thing? Like, they realized they were losing power, they were losing money, they were losing control of the populace, and so they created their own enforcement wing. Or maybe it would be easier to say, buy the U.S. government and make them do it by instituting an official office of faith and an office of anti-church discrimination, whatever the fuck that means, you know?
And designate anybody who is quote unquote anti-Christian as a terrorist.
Right. Yeah. Did y'all see that? They're definitely trying to turn anyone who speaks out against the government, against Israel, anything that this country is doing at the moment, they'll find a way to call you a terrorist is basically what it's come down to, what it boils down to.
In a way, they're kind of creating our legal defenses for us, though, because if they ever did say, for example, arrest me, they'd have to figure out which flavor of terrorism to charge me with. Is it for being non-Christian? Is it for being critical of the government? Is it for being a trans person in public? Is it like which specific terrorism? Because they're not all the same, right?
Would love to know.
I want to answer Rainbow Ash. Why do you guys think people of color have been joining ICE? To protect themselves? Sadly, in my community, a lot of people hate themselves.
I mean, for the money would be my guess.
The money too, yeah.
There's Hispanic people who join because they need the money. Because the reason there's a gigantic sign-on bonus is to make people see so many dollar signs. They don't think about the consequences. They see, I can feed my baby. I can pay rent. They're desperate people. And I can't fault them for grabbing whatever fucking life preserver comes their way, even if the string attached goes back to dictatorship, you know?
Right. Like, when you need to put food on the table and there's no jobs, right? The economy's like tanking the job market anyway. The pay is crap. I mean, I'm not saying I would ever do it, but I'm not in a position where I would, where I'm pressed to. So I don't know that I can say, but I would love to say that I would never do something like that.
There's this TikToker, and all he does is talk about he's a fellow black man. He talks about his fellow black people, like dogging them out. Look at this. And I'm like, are you serious? That's all they do. Every stream, he talks about a black man or woman. It's nothing positive. And the white people in there laughing, saying, yeah, that's right. Agreeing with him. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, so that's what I don't, that's what I don't ever want.
There's certain trans creators that do the same thing, and other LGBT creators generally. Like I'm sure everybody in the audience can think of at least one trans person who picks on trans people, one gay person who picks on gay people, and one lesbian who picks on lesbians. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. What the hell is it? You just want to be the best of the lesbians? You just want to be the best of the black people? Like, is that what it's about? Like, well, they hate us, but I could be the most liked of the hated
Yeah, I'm one of the good ones, so they won't gas me
until they eat your
first.
face.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Until the leopards eat your face. Kelly, do you want to read this from Kelly? How about Kelly reads the Kelly super chat?
Oh God. 1999. I cannot pronounce your last name, so I'm not gonna try. In Religion 101, the textbook said that religious are the most pure in the first generation. Every decade thereafter corrupts more and more. Go Jugs.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
when it comes to like religion, I feel like it's like this long game of telephone. It's not been the same. Everything's changed. It evolves, yet they still feel as though it's exactly as it was from the first and second century. And I'm specifically talking about Christianity, of course. But even still, like Judaism, I think a majority of Christians have no idea that the Judaism of today comes from the Pharisees. It's not the Judaism of Jesus' day. Like Jesus' Judaism is different than what we have today, but people don't realize that.
The wild thing is well, many wild things, but the one that comes to mind immediately is that Christianity itself represents an evolution. It's a fundamental change in the religion. I realize they have apologetics for why that doesn't count, but it's true that they say the word has always been true and it's unchanged and yada yada, and yet the central part of the story is when a new character appears and the story changes, you know?
Yeah. Resist Oppression says you got to get the fully loaded Subaru to be the mean lesbian. Sorry.
It's privilege. That's what it is, right? Because
it
to get
is
the fully loaded Subaru, you have to be moderately well off, which compared to the average American means you're filthy fucking rich by comparison.
Now.
And yeah. Like no one can afford the fully loaded Subaru. No one can afford a Subaru. You know, we're over here looking at bicycles and wondering how many weeks of lunch money we have to save up for them, you know?
People are living in their cars. They can't afford rent. They can't afford a home. So they just have to live in that Subaru if that's what they can even afford to get. Or they're living in their Ford Escort. And I mean, and
you're very, very close. I was homeless for 8 years and I spent most of that time living in a Ford Focus.
See? Yeah, I've had to sleep in my car many a times and many nights.
I remember time I didn't do that, but I had to go to like the warming centers because no shelters were full.
Yeah,
I've a couple hours to go to the next one.
And you know what, too, Kelly? Like what really really f's me off is with all the budget cuts, they're cutting so much support for women's shelters, like domestic violence shelter, or, you know, for anyone who's been in a domestic violence situation, because men are also abused. But that's going by the wayside. They don't care to protect the abused people anymore. That really makes me mad because I couldn't have survived. There was a point in my time, like if I did not have help from like government assistance with rent support, I can't remember what it was called. Section 8. I think it was Section 8. I would have been freaking homeless. I mean, I still had to pay a portion of my rent. I had to, but without
me too.
The rest of it being paid, I would have been.
I had to stay in the domestic violence shelter as well. So
yeah. People don't realize,
and it was
like,
not the greatest. Not the greatest. You had like a room for your whole family.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I understand. That's why I'm more
Left-handed Jen sends a super chat for $20 and says, "Morning, Padawans. Keep up the good work."
Thank you.
Thank you, Left-handed Jedi. We appreciate your support. We love you guys. You know, we understand you don't have to spend your Monday mornings here with us, but you do.
No, it's a moral requirement. It's an obligation.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's a moral obligation. Yeah.
I mean, it happens, but the video's rewatchable, and then you just have to say, like, you know, 5 hail embers and then tithe or
Spin.
something. I don't know.
You gotta say 5
We
kilos
understand
everybody
that.
on this stream. It's on the stream for today.
Well, we do appreciate you. I like the conversation. I know we ramble. We talk about every different subject when we have maybe one specific topic, but I enjoy conversations where they go where they
Yep.
go. I mean, I like to get back on topic because sometimes like I really want to talk about the specific, but sometimes it's nice to meander and just see where it goes and what you discover about people.
I don't know. It's a new person, but I'm say I love your name, love you ho. I don't know who this person is. Never seen them before, but
Wait,
I love
you,
the
Ho.
username.
I love you, Ho. I don't know where you are.
I don't know who you are. How are you today? Welcome.
Yes, based. Fuck ice. That's what we like to hear.
Yes.
Welcome.
You're welcome with that comment. You're welcome.
Yeah, now we know you're one of us. You're one of our
Yeah.
cult. As long as you're in our cult, it's cool. You just can't be in the other cult.
You're one of our
Birds
hosts.
are nothing.
You are one of our hosts. Yes. Welcome to the Jug Hose. Tally ho, Jug Hose. Okay, anyway, sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
Let's go back
The
to
Church of Jugs. It's all good. It's a morning show, and the point is to like converse and like get thoughts flowing and shit, but also to entertain. And let's be honest, Mondays are fucking hard. I mean, even Garfield
Yes.
hated Monday. You know, it just.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're here to get things loosened up. If you want to, try to stay closer to On Topic, you can join many of us for the next show, which we actually a bit of an announcement on that. We're doing a makeover for the new year. The following show is now called Learn Together Live because it's what we do, and you can join us for that immediately over on my channel, Better Than Ever. And today we cover a different topic, something sciencey, something history, something philosophy. We try to learn stuff every single day, weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, if you want to be a bit more thoughtful, do join us for that. Today we're covering ancient prehistoric art.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what people thought was creativity, like back in the day.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is like before we had invented language, because that's the demarcation between history and prehistory, is written language, so people could write their histories down, right? So before there was language, how did people communicate across the generations? Art was what was available.
Yeah. And you can, and without reading, you can see the symbols, you know what the symbols mean, and you understand what, now maybe today it's been lost on us, but people at that time would have understand the symbols that they were looking at. Just like similarly, maybe the symbols are gone, but certain words are intrinsically tied to, ancient symbolism back in the day. And we just don't know it today because it's just been lost. Oh, we got another new person. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's like the best username I've ever seen.
It reminds me of I've Had It podcast.
Yeah.
In the intro of the show, they do this, gays, whatever, patriots, skatriots, yada yada yada, and then the one girl goes, fuck off. Anyway, sidetrack. Yes, creativity. So make sure you join so you can see some of the ancient art that Ember's going to show you today. That's today's show.
Yep, that's coming up next, right after Job and Jugs in about an hour, almost exactly
Yes,
an hour.
I'll tag along. Are you tagging along too, Lil?
I'm gonna try to. I slept about an hour last night, so
Yes,
I'm gonna try to. Well, I had to work last night, so. But I love Job and Jugs, so that's why I try to be here every Monday morning, anyways.
Oh, well, we love you too. Oh,
I guess I like you a little bit.
yeah. I mean, you're all right.
A little bit.
Right.
Oh,
People
that's
put up-
you
you put
your
up
clips
with
channel, Lil. When you do long live streams and you want to just put clips up, your clips channel can be a little bit.
Oh my god, that's so good! Yes,
That's really cute. A little bit. A little bit of Lil.
Clearly, I haven't had quite enough coffee yet.
Speaking of which,
how do you do that?
it is
Oh,
10
is it
o'clock.
coffee time?
Well, it is 10 o'clock, so we're at the hour
Or
mark. Do y'all
doggy
want to take a
time.
little breaksy poo?
I don't know. I'm doing it. I've been sitting there sipping on hot toddies like it's water, trying to get this cold out of my system. And I gotta go to work today. I don't know how I'm gonna make it, but here we are.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That sucks.
That's life.
Where is the? I can't. Hello, dummy. Are you stupid?
Is it hiding?
Media assets. Oh my gosh, I was clicking the wrong button. And I couldn't find where the freaking thing was. Anyway, do you guys want to take a little break? Do you want to do the doggies or you want to do your super cut? What would y'all prefer?
People come here for the doggies. I would say the doggies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna play a little doggy. It's 1:52, so we will BRB, folks.
Sometimes I chill or hang out at the bar, but I never stay long or go very far. You could say I am lame or that I am fickle, but I'd rather be at home playing with my pickle. That's my dog, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. Don't take offense if I don't answer the phone. Instead I'm loving on my girl and giving her a bone. People call me a dud, like a busted missile, but I'd rather be in my bed, petting my pickle. That's my doggy, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. That's my dog, she's a big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real. It's not that I don't like you or wanna hang out, but if I had to choose, never was there a doubt. If you need to feel good, in fact it might tickle, you should come to my house and wrestle with my pickle. That's my big deal. That's my dog, let's keep it real.
Yay!
You know, I saw
Doggy.
a thing about a boxer recently. It was just a clip in passing, but it was this woman was walking her dog and somehow she dropped her keys, and it was autumn and it went right into a pile of leaves, and she was like, oh shit. And so she says to the dog, could you get them? And the dog just starts digging through the leaves, and she's like, get the keys. And it takes like a minute, but the dog brings up the keys. I'm like, does this happen enough? You could train her for that, or is she just that smart? Like,
I don't think my dogs are that smart. I can't get them to stop barking at the chihuahua in the backyard. Like, because directly behind us, we have a family that their chihuahua gets out all the damn time. It doesn't have a collar on, so I don't know what they're doing, but it likes to come to the fence and antagonize my dogs.
as one does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they know they can't get them.
I don't think the chihuahua realizes that it's about 1/10 of the size of Kip. So
Something about Chihuahuas. It's like they have a little dog syndrome.
yeah, but here's the interesting thing, and I don't remember where I heard this at, but it completely makes sense, especially if you think of like dachshunds. A lot of the small dogs, like chihuahuas that were meant to go after rats, and dachshunds that the name literally means badger hound. They were meant to go after badgers.
Oh.
Because the small dogs, when they were pest control, they were meant to kill whatever they were hunting, not just incapacitate it like the bigger hunting dogs were. So they tend to be a little bit more vicious.
Well, I would say this.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
don't know if
bit
that's
by
true or
one
not, but
dog.
it's interesting.
I've been bit by one dog in my life,
Same.
and it was a Chihuahua.
Oh, they're so
I-
the smaller they get, the more angry they become. It's wild.
I have been,
that sweet
yeah,
attitude.
But on my ankles. What is this?
I've been nipped by Kip, but that's mainly because for a long time she did not realize how big she was, especially like when she was growing like mad. She didn't realize how big she was, so she didn't realize that, oh, I can't do that anymore. And she
Yeah.
like jump up on me and nip and accidentally like grab me. So
Pickles had done that like when we first got her. She doesn't do it anymore. Like after a few times of us saying ow, she realized like, oh, oops, I'm pretty big. I'm strong. Yeah, she don't do that anymore. But little dogs, man, they got attitude. Every time I walk her and somebody has a little dog, like Pickles will just be excited and she'll be just like wanting to get close to him. But them dogs are the first ones to bark every single effing time.
Well,
Every single time.
so as you saw in our music video just then, I live with a Great Dane and a small end of medium size dog, and the Great Dane will bark if someone opens or closes a door inside the house. He barks at everything.
Oh,
I have never seen a more borky dog in my life.
yeah,
oh
some
my,
dogs are
yeah,
like-
we before I had these dogs about 10 years ago or so, we had miniature schnauzer. That was the yappiest dog I've ever seen in my life. Like, yeah. Yapped it.
Thank goodness Pickle
everything.
don't bark all like that. I mean, she'll bark if she sees something outside, but
Mhm.
thank goodness she ain't crazy like that and just barks all day like some dogs.
Hey, you know who else yaps all the time? Preachers.
Yes.
Speaking of
Mega
which,
church pastors.
church, maybe we get back to the church thing.
See what I did there? This
That was a
this
good
is why
segue.
I'm on the top of the screen. At least if
Yeah,
you're
yep.
watching on horizontal.
And that's why I'm always on the bottom, just saying.
Oh, I didn't know you were a bottom, Ryan.
Hey, I can switch up.
Fair enough.
I
And we
mean,
can actually. We have that power. We can bloop.
Oh,
He's in the
hey,
middle,
hey,
though.
Kelly. How you doing?
Yeah, we still in
Hey,
the
I'm
middle,
happy
though.
where I'm at.
Oh,
we can dance. You can
Listen,
dance if
one,
you want
switcheroo.
to.
Get out behind. Your friends don't dance and get out dancing. No friends of mine.
Y'all are just telling your age. I'm just saying that. I don't know that song. I'm just playing. I do know that song, but
I'm like, say what? It was a Burger King commercial for ages. Although, in fairness, I learned it from World of Warcraft. Because
Really,
there's
the song I was
learned to
singing.
old raids
before then.
where you have to do it was a Noxramas, this necropolis where the evil undead wizard dude did his bad business. And in this boss fight, you had to do the safety dance because like the ground would like bubble up with toxic sludge, and you had to move in different ways at different points in the fight. And so it was basically a dance.
Safety dance.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? Safety dance? What? And then people would send me links to the song, and I'm like, what is this ridiculousness? What are you humans doing? You have all this technology, and this is what you're doing.
When I was younger, I thought it was safe to dance. I didn't realize it was safety dance. I was like, what the F?
Yeah, like anything else would make more sense. Like it's let's save the dance or whatever.
Right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong screen. I'm trying to unpause. Okay, so I still had the window open for the Crystal Cathedral, and I'm trying to unpause the Crystal Cathedral.
Yeah, no, that's not a video.
Damn it, Ember.
Optimistic, digestible. Possibility thinking, Scholler calls it. God wants you to succeed. God wants you to be happy. God wants you to dream big. This isn't fire and brimstone. This is prosperity gospel wrapped in psychological affirmation. Americans are hungry for it.
I mean, yeah, people kind of self-victimize, right? You know, when you hear prosperity gospel, for anybody who has never been exposed, it's basically saying God sees you suffering, he wants you to do better. But in order to do better, you have to make things worse. You have to give up your finances which I know are your main source of stress, you have to make yourself even more broke in order to prove your faith, and then God will reward you. And then he just never does. But you're too poor to do anything about it. Because, fun fact, while in the United States, you can sue anyone for any reason, lawyers are expensive. And if you have no money, you cannot hire one. Weird, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the game. They're taking advantage of desperate people who know this sounds sus as hell, but they have no other option. There's no safety net in a lot of these cases. And so they're like, well, it sounds like bullshit, but so did the Nigerian prince. And maybe this time it'll work. Like, oh my goodness. There was a fellow a couple of years ago who made a brief splash in the news because he fell for the Nigerian prince scheme twice.
Oh.
His reasoning was they can't both be fake. This is how some people think, especially when they're desperate, because the desperation makes your critical thinking a lot easier to set aside. In some ways, being able to think critically is a privilege. When you feel stressed in the sense that your survival feels like it's threatened, like you don't know how you're going to pay for food next week, it makes it harder to think straight. Ask me how I know.
Indeed. Right. No, but that's true.
Yeah.
Need food for the brain.
Well, the worry, the I'm going to die from lack of money thing, it's constantly weighing on you. And when a preacher reaches out and says, hey, here's this really unbelievable thing, but if you already believe in an all-loving God who wants you to burn in hell forever unless you accept his free gift of eternal salvation, you're already primed to believe in impossibly stupid things, you know?
Yeah.
And you're already prepared to take blame if it doesn't work out. You'll just like, oh, well, I did something wrong. I didn't pray hard enough. I didn't believe, or you'll just internalize it when inevitably it doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, the excuses are endless. But the point is, critical thinking gets compromised when you're stressed in that specific way of you're worried about your survival. So it doesn't matter if the thing doesn't make sense. It's a chance to get out of this predicament and possibly not die. Or even more so when, like, you have a starving child. Now it's not just you have all those parent instincts driving you towards doing something very stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Terms and conditions apply. I love it.
Bibles is watching. Rick Warren is watching. Joel Osteen is watching. They see what Schuller has done, and they're going to take it further. Much further. The 1980s and 90s become the golden age of megachurch construction. Willow Creek Community Church opens outside Chicago with a deliberate strategy. Make church feel like anything but church. No crosses, no religious symbols.
No, that actually is a thing. I'm not sure which church that it may be Willow Creek, but that is a motto that I've heard among church marketing people, is make church not feel like church, so people will want to come. And they still do that at a lot of churches, right? Like every time we see clips from a church, you know, there's a pastor up there saying, well, you know, God loves everyone unless you're gay or a woman or, you know, any part of the LGBT or brown or a foreigner, like, but God loves everyone. You know, there's always like a full fucking band standing right behind him, you know?
Yeah.
We've seen it, you know. Greg Locke made a lot of headlines over the past several years for his crazy rants about witches and Barbie's dream house and all this shit. And that's his thing too. Like he's a wannabe megachurch pastor. He has a big ass tent, but it only holds a couple hundred people. But he's trying to get bigger and bigger tents. And he has a fucking band too, because that's the whole thing is make it feel like a concert, but spiritual, you know?
Is there something up with him? He's not allowed to build a building or
he didn't want to pay permits. A tent is technically a temporary structure. And he's like, no, separation of church and state. I'm not paying any money to the government. So we'll hold services in a fucking tent if I have to. And so it's grandstanding, really. But he also
Yeah.
doesn't want to pay the fees and fines and permits and whatnot to build an actual building.
Yeah. And he probably thinks it makes him look so brave and smart to get around.
Patriotic.
Yeah, yeah,
To say
exactly.
fuck you to the government. What could be more patriotic than not supporting the government?
I guess.
Am I
Welcome to the
wrong?
21st century, folks. Nothing makes sense.
I'm going up on a little side thing, talking about the buildings. But am I wrong? I'm looking into I'm in different organizations in my local community and getting like an old church and gutting it out and making it into an atheist space.
I'd do that.
I've seen a few of
Have
those.
like a meeting space and
I like
place
that.
to get food and just hang out and things like that. Because many times we have to go to different restaurants or things, and you don't have to, just come there and have your meeting there.
I mean, I wouldn't even care where like an atheist meeting was held at, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fun with
But
great people.
I do have it. Okay, 1 second, and I will show you.
Show me.
This Macy Gray,
Oh yeah.
world
maybe.
famous recording artist, huge sensation. And if you ever get the chance to see her in person, you absolutely should. I was photographing. I was a photographer for her concert, and it was
Ooh.
one of the
Oh, that's
coolest
cool.
fucking things ever. As a professional photographer, this concert was in a converted church because the church closed down, and the community went mwahahaha because they had a great performance area where they gave their sermons and shit. They had a lower level that you can see like in front of Macy that's like a U shape around the central stage. And then there was a balcony too, so they could fit a lot of people in. They're like, this is brilliant for performances. There's room to hang lights and all the different, because it was a church. So it was just set up for all the theatrical effects. And so they bought the church and turned it into a community arts center, not just theater, but concerts, including
that's
national acts
nice.
like Macy Gray.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Fuck yeah.
That's incredible
not
to
telling you.
use the venue. Might as well.
I mean, because
Mhm.
these are sound, beautifully built, beautifully sculptured buildings.
Yeah. They've got the fucking the stained glass windows. Like there's in the 1980s, our architectural style regressed really, really hard to you might call it brutalist, right? It's just concrete boxes. And so finding buildings with any kind of architectural beauty to them basically means old churches. Like that's all you could. It's either a box or an old church.
Unfortunate. And if it's ever going to be a Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall, then you're definitely just getting a box.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Welcome to the kingdom. It's a box
with no windows. You're welcome.
Fucking hell. But yeah, they used to know how to build them back in the day. Even the wood ones, right? Like that one with the concert, that happened to be made of stone, like a proper church or temple. But even the wooden ones, like the sanctuaries, feel like sanctuaries. Even if you don't have this sense of the Holy Spirit, you feel peacefulness and some sense of isolation from the chaos of the outside world. And that's really cool, architecturally speaking.
Mhm.
Oh, good point. Brainwashing and indoctrination. You teach children to think a certain type of way so you don't feel the toxicity happening around you. Ooh. Yep. Poor kiddos. They don't know what it's hitting for. They haven't learned how to reason and rationalize and ask themselves questions and answer.
Paddington, it's unchristian to dissemble. You know you get banned not because you disagree, but because you break rules. Like many channels have
I was about to say
rules.
something myself.
Naughty,
you can
naughty.
engage,
You're
you
in
can
our
disagree,
space.
but on many channels you cannot preach. You should be aware. There are the mods on channels talk to each other, and some of them have collaborated to create something called a most toxic list, a person who is a rampant rule breaker on every fucking channel, to alert other mods that to watch out for this person. They've been making the rounds and they've been causing trouble by breaking the rules. And you should be aware you're on that list. So let's not pretend it's just because you disagree.
Yeah.
Not that I paid attention, but yeah.
Thanks for your support, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like whatever Ember said. I wasn't listening, but whatever Ember said.
I don't know what happened, but I agree.
Because there are theists that come on this show and they have no problems and we get along very well.
I mean, we can have adult conversations, and I'm sure that there's likelihood we agree on
of course
very many topics.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Speaking of breaking rules, back to megachurches.
Instead, it looks like a corporate campus. There are theaters, food courts, bookstores. The services feature dramatic sketches, contemporary.
Now, this is almost definitely an AI-generated image of the inside of a church. But if I could find an old church like this, I don't even care that it's ostensibly holy symbolism. This is stunningly gorgeous. The detail and the art in every nook and cranny. Amazing. Fucking amazing. They've even got the cherubs. Like,
right.
I mean, where else can you get naked little babies with wings on your fucking door lintels
and where
whatever?
did they even come up with that? That's what a cherubim looks like. It's ridiculous.
I think it was a Renaissance thing. They wanted to make them cuter. Then we need to make it cute. It'll sell better if it's cute.
I guess. Yeah, this is what was protecting Yahweh, is this little baby angel.
Holding a big flaming sword.
Right. Yes, that's exactly what I imagine. Is this little tiny naked baby.
Adam and Eve, you just get out of here. You're not allowed anymore. Oh my goodness.
Music and messages focused on practical living rather than theological doctrine. Hybels calls it seeker sensitive. Critics call it Christianity light. But the numbers don't lie. By 1992, Willow Creek is drawing 15,000 people every weekend.
Now, point of order, that was not Willow Creek. I think there are images of Willow Creek in here, but because I'm like this, and also we may not get to it, I wanna look it up and show y'all. But Willow Creek is one of those mega churches that had multiple campuses. So 15,000 people a week doesn't mean it's one giant stadium with one giant service. They had multiple services across multiple buildings, you know? What was it? Community church? Okay, let's see. And I believe that's one that no longer exists. Or they're like very, very reduced or something like that. I think it was Mark Driscoll's original church. I may be confusing my things. But it was a very, very big church. Like so. Wow, like that. Geez. Maybe they are still around if they turned 50. Holy shit.
Theater.
It's not even a theater. It's like halfway to being a stadium, you know?
Yeah, yes. More like a stadium.
Yeah, like in the picture that shows like the overhead of the entire building, you can see that road around it. Fun fact, I learned to drive on a mega church road. The very first time I drove, my dad took me there and he's like, we're going to go around so we don't have to worry about you being on like
a main road.
But yeah, I live in
it's like a shopping mall.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we used to do, yeah.
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah, so
I can think of several, like just there's a lot like right in the Dallas area. They're all over the place. It's absurd.
If I was going to build a church that big, I feel like from above, I'd want it to look like something.
Like shaped like a giant boat, perhaps.
Maybe
because
a
we
boat.
have a story about a giant boat.
What in the world is wrong with these people? What are they doing? Why?
So this is another one that oh, was it Jess who sent this to us this
I
morning?
think so, yes.
Jess comes up with all the coolest stories. So this is you've probably heard about the measles outbreak at the Creation Museum, but it's the Ark. It's the giant boat. Apparently Noah was saving the measleses. So yeah, there's
2x2.
Ken Ham. This is obviously an out of date photo because he has fewer wrinkles around his eyes and he is currently around 8 months pregnant. And hey, no hate for me. Pregnancy is hard.
Where's the baby? Did he get an abortion? Because I haven't seen the baby.
Well, that's why he hates atheists so much. Atheists eat babies.
Oh, we ate his baby.
In
Yes,
Australia,
I
the
did.
dingoes
I
might get your
confessed.
baby. Here, it's the atheists. Yes.
If you ate my baby.
I did. Sorry. I was hungry.
So yeah, visitors and staff at the Ark Encounter in Williamstown. And weirdly enough, we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of the Ark. I know because I spoke at the 9th anniversary of the Ark, the protest organized by Jess, How to Rule an Asteroid, who's sometimes joins us, but also Joe the Kentucky Atheist, because it's in Kentucky. And yeah, so I spoke at that this past summer. So next year will
That's
be
how we
the
met.
10th anniversary.
Lucky.
What?
Jealous.
And we met.
That's right. Yeah. I got to see this Kelly in person and also Kelly from the live chat in person and also Godless Granny and the Gleasons and a whole bunch of cool people and one very uncool person, but that's we're not talking about that today.
We met a couple of uncool people that day.
And we didn't meet Kent Hovind, which is a whole
Thank goodness.
other story. He'd been threatening to come by and debate all us atheists with his hands tied behind his back or some shit. Never showed up.
I was
Totally
waiting.
chickened out.
I was waiting.
I know. I'm like, it's probably
I
for
didn't
the
wanna
best.
see
because I
something.
don't know. I mean, Mandisa went and did an in-person debate with him, wiped the floor with him. Hilarious, amazing to watch, fabulous broadcasting. If you can find a copy of that debate, there's a few of them around. It's fun to watch. But mainly I want to praise her composure because this is a man who not only is responsible for the death of at least one child, but turned the death of that child into a marketing event.
Ew.
Like, how soulless. I'm not sure I could keep my composure around that guy, you know? I mean, he's a known wife beater. He's been convicted, but his actual federal crimes were tax evasion, which honestly, I don't care. Like, it's a no, but like in the hierarchy of crimes that I care about, I just don't care.
I mean, I'm
Like,
not
don't hurt
a fan.
people.
I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
financial crimes and fraud and things of that nature, but I'm not shocked that someone like him would be doing that.
Well, I mean, if you can just let the death of a child roll off your back like it's nothing and use it as a marketing campaign, nothing matters. You have no morals, you know?
Well, what is it about people who, for whatever reason, love to use people's tragic death to propel their own message, Erica Kirk?
For real. But I
You
digress.
did go down that
Tangents
rabbit
upon
hole.
tangents.
I think
If you
Rainbow's
wanna
right.
check out-
You're obsessed.
If
What'd
you
you
want to
say?
check out
Go down that rabbit
the
hole.
Rainbow
Anyway,
asked that you're obsessed.
who's obsessed?
Our goddess Ryan. She's obsessed with Erica Kirk.
I mean, you know, she's kind of the hot topic, as it were.
Yeah.
She really is. She really effed herself over, not to keep going off course, but that's all her. She played her cards and she lied, and that's a problem.
Ay. Yeah, there's layers and layers and layers. But if you want to see the adventures I had at the Ark, including getting kicked out, even though I wasn't even on the property, there's a video for that on my channel. It's the most recent publicly available pre-recorded video. There's another pre-recorded that's coming through the system because members get early access. So it's available to members now and it'll be public later. So the most recent public regular recorded video is from the Ark. So, check that out if you want to see some shit. But the Ark visitors and staff being encouraged to be on the alert for symptoms of the highly contagious and vaccine preventable disease, because the Kentucky Department of Public Health explained following a potential exposure on last Monday. Not that this isn't a future news. It's past. Why do they call it news when it's actually what happened days ago? It's weird. What's new? Well, let me tell you what's old. But you may not have heard. In any case, 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, 51 feet tall, and full of fucking germs. I mean, we knew that already, but now even the Kentucky Health Department has to say so.
Man,
what?
Mark Looney. Okay, yeah, co-founder Mark Louis. It should be Looney. Louis. It should be your last name should be Looney. Because you're crazy.
It's so much crazy. It's so much crazy. And do remember, the Ark is controversial for a number of reasons. Creationism, of course, is a pseudoscience conspiracy theory, but also they misappropriated government funds to build the damn thing. They're screwing over the local communities every which way they can. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff that's off message, off script, off book, off purpose. It's fucking wild. But also because they're a pseudoscience conspiracy theory. Let's not forget the conspiracy theory part. They're interfering with government. The current Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is a young Earth creationist and member of Ken Ham's Association of Friends.
Yeah, he worked for them.
He was Ken Ham's attorney.
Yeah.
Answers in Genesis' attorney, but it's the same thing, really, because Ken Ham kind of is Answers in Genesis.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. So, yeah, we talk about keeping religion out of government, and we've got a fucking cultist third in line for the presidency.
Help me.
Right? Canada, send help.
Please.
Warren launches Saddleback Church in Southern California in 1980, and he's even more systematic in his approach. He studies demographics. He surveys the unchurched.
Is that Mandisa?
He asks them why they don't go to church.
It could be. I mean, it has the look of another AI-generated image. It may not be. It's as everybody knows, it's harder and harder to tell. But there's a couple of giveaways, like the focus being off. Like with a real camera, you want your subject to be in focus, and stuff that's in the foreground and stuff that's in the background will both be out of focus. And this is something that AI has trouble with. But the way it's out of focus, it could just be an iPhone with the artificial blur, because it's not a natural blur gradient. This person's hair, for example, it's clearly a digital thing. So it's either a digital blur effect from using an iPhone or some other shitty camera that should not be used for this kind of thing, or it's AI generated.
I think it's
and the
AI.
way the light,
you could do a deeper analysis.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the way the lights are focused, like pointing at the crowd in their eyes versus being able to really focus on the performers is a little weird.
Yeah, there's a few things. Like the way the legs on the stools in the background line up, they're not quite straight. It just there's a few little details that seem slightly off. It's very weird. Or the shadows against the back wall, where the table is over here, but the stuff that's on the table is actually on the floor, and it's also crystal clear, even though it's like.
And that table's leaning to the right too, with the drinks and stuff on it. It's got like a gangster lean going on.
I mean, I have seen leany tables. That's
well, there is leany tables indeed. That is a possibility.
It's all very weird, and none of the shadows move in the right directions. It's very weird. But I digress. The point is, it does look much more like Mandisa than whoever the fuck it's supposed to be, doesn't it?
And then he designs a church that eliminates every objection they have. Don't like organ music? We'll have rock bands. Don't like ties and suits? Come in shorts. Don't like
Come
long
as you
sermons?
are.
We'll keep it to
Come
25 minutes. Don't like being asked for money? We won't pass a plate. It works spectacularly. Saddleback grows to 20,000 members. Warren writes The Purpose-Driven Life, which sells 32 million copies and makes him one of the most influential religious figures in America. He's on.
Okay. Another note here. This is an old trick that the bestseller lists have just started to take measures to deal with, where when one of these people, especially these churchy people, writes a book, it sells 32 million copies or whatever. If you actually look into the numbers, you'll find that something like 31.9 million all got ordered by one single organization at one time, something like that. Because they don't actually sell as much as you think. They tend to, for example, Mark Driscoll, one of the scandals that drove him out of his original church, Trinity Church, his original megachurch, was he was using church funds to buy copies of his own book to make it move up the bestseller list.
Oh man, that's just so deceitful. You're a scoundrel.
Yeah.
Skeevy, smarmy. Ooh, wow. Desperate. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not just the churches. Obviously, like every time a conservative talking head writes a book, like they'll sell more copies than views that on their TV shows audiences. It's unreal. But
yeah, something's not right. Like when they buy their followers, and then when you look at their views, like their views are really low and their likes, because it's just all phony. They're fluffing it just to make it seem as though it's something it's not.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes people will see those big numbers and they'll get excited and they'll fall for it without any critical thinking. But it's the dead internet thing, right? It's like Isaiah Saldivar doing the live stream with like 4,000 people watching live, but only 12 people in chat. It's that sort of thing.
Something doesn't add up to me when I see that. Like I do understand some people just want to watch and they're listening and they don't want to, interact. But when you have thousands or even a couple hundred people, the chat's usually on and popping. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's like people like lives because they want to engage. And yeah, some people do like just lurk and listen and that's fine. But like to see such a huge disparity where it's not even a 1% participation rate.
Yeah.
It's all bots. You'd
feel like you'd at least be getting 10% at least minimum.
Who's to say? Maybe they're too busy being filled with the Holy Spirit or something.
Ooh. Yummy.
But yeah, we see it with the books. We see it all the time. Donald Trump Jr.'s book, I think, got into trouble because they were very sloppy about it. Like, the day it came out, the Heritage Foundation ordered 100,000 copies, and somehow that information became public. So when it showed up on the New York Times bestsellers list, they put a little dagger of deception next to its place. They didn't remove it from the list, but they noted that the numbers are artificially inflated. But you don't see what got knocked off the list because of that. It's just
that's not fair.
It's shitty. It's very shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it all the time. Like every single one of their books. That's why they're always giving their books away, because they bought 100,000 copies themselves. And they're like, hey, you get a book and you get a book. That Ray Comfort does the same thing. That's why he's always handing out, I'm going to give you a free gift of my book, 20 Scientific Facts in the Bible. Like, that's why he has so many free copies to give away, because he bought them to elevate the numbers.
On talk shows, he's advising presidents. He gives the invocation at Barack Obama's 2009 inauguration. The megachurch pastor has become a celebrity, a brand, a franchise. And then there's Joel Osteen.
Not pictured, Joel Osteen.
I was about to say, I don't think that's him.
Let me show a woman.
You didn't know he's actually a trans man. He used to look like this.
Ah, that's what it is.
That makes sense.
His name was
Yeah.
And
Joella.
congratulations to him for that's why he has such high cheekbones, right?
Ooh.
In 1999, his father, John Osteen, dies, and Joel reluctantly takes over Lakewood Church in Houston. Joel has never preached a sermon in his life. He's been working behind the scenes in television production. But he understands media. He understands messaging. He understands that in America, presentation often matters more than substance. Joel's first sermon is awkward, nervous, but he learns fast.
So that's a thing that preachers are definitely good at, is understanding that appearance matters more than substance, because that's the whole thing with Christianity, is there is no substance, only spirit. They're selling you something that's demonstrably not physical for the entire span of the church's history. So they get that. It's part of it's part of the thing. It's the whole game. Here's this invisible product that doesn't actually exist, but give me money for it, you know?
MLM.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, with
drops the
MLMs, you often get a
complexity.
real product. Like it might be a shitty bottle of fake essential oils, but there's something real to it.
Abandons talk of sin and judgment. Instead, every sermon becomes a motivational speech with Bible verses sprinkled in. You're going to have a good year. Favor is coming your way. God has something better in store for you. It's Oprah meets prosperity gospel. It's self-help Christianity, and it explodes. By 2003, Lakewood outgrows its building.
See, this is why AI scripts, my goodness. If it were self-help Christianity, you wouldn't need to go to the church. But never mind.
Yeah.
Osteen sets his sights on something audacious. The Compaq Center, the former home of the Houston Rockets. The renovation cost
Not pictured here, the former home of the
No.
Houston Rockets. It's so bad.
over $105 million. When it opens in 2005, it's the largest church in America. 16,000 seats, 2 massive video screens. A worship experience that feels more like a concert than a church service. Joel's sermons are broadcast to over 100 countries. His books become bestsellers. He moves into a $10 million mansion in River Oaks, one of Houston's most exclusive neighborhoods. The megachurch model seems unstoppable.
That is Trinity Church in New York City. I've been there. It's a cool spot. They have a graveyard in the middle of New York City, but that's not the point. The point is this is not a megachurch. It's just a very old building.
Cathedral
Question is
building.
there anything under the church?
Probably. I don't know. I've never been inside. It's still operating as an actual church. I'm not sure if it's Catholic. I mean, I assume it's Catholic because it's a cathedral, but like I don't actually know.
Yeah, it could have been sold. Who knows?
By 2010, there are roughly 1,600 megachurches.
Fun fact, for a very long time, the spire at the top of Trinity was the highest point in New York City. You could pay, oh shit, what was it? In the 1890s, I think you could pay $1, which in the 1890s was a lot of fucking money. But you could pay $1 to go up to the top of the spire and admire the view of the city. You could see all the way past Fifth Avenue to the farmland in Manhattan. Because it was the 1890s and they had
Back
farms in Manhattan. But never mind that. Yeah, Trinity Church was the highest point for a very long time.
Crazy.
In America, defined as Protestant churches with at least 2,000 weekly attendees. Together, they're drawing millions of people and generating billions of dollars in revenue. Some are building water parks.
This is 1,000% AI. Like, look at the fucking lines between the bricks don't even go all the way across. But also, it's like it's a fucking Hogwarts up in here. The way that this impossible, ridiculous hallway just keeps going and going and going. Oh my goodness.
Where's the spiral staircase that just keeps going?
Oh,
Some have laser tag arenas. Some offer rock climbing walls, bowling alleys, and full-service restaurants. The line between church and entertainment complex has completely dissolved. But beneath the surface, something is shifting. In 2007, Bill Hybels does something remarkable. After decades of growth, after becoming the model for thousands of churches worldwide, he commissions a study. He wants to know if Willow Creek is actually...
Oh, so this is stock footage of studying, I guess?
Yeah.
That's what you call it.
I'm curious. What are we looking at? Since we can actually read the thing, looks like it says verse 13, whatever the hell we're looking at, verse 13, testing will surely come. And what of the scepter of Judah, which the sword despises, does not continue, declares the sovereign Lord. So we could actually look up which Bible verse we're looking at. Like which book is this? If we wanted to. I don't actually care that much, but we could.
actually working? Is it producing mature, committed Christians? Is it creating deep faith or just drawing crowds? The results are devastating. The study...
Not pictured here. People who are devastated.
Right? They look very happy. They're celebrating.
Oh, that's a black person. A black lady.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, our
Called
pastor is
Revealed.
Oh, there's two. It's a black man, too. Oh,
she has hair now,
Actually.
and she's in the crowd.
yeah. You got three in the crowd. That's what's up.
that increased participation in church activities doesn't necessarily correlate with spiritual growth. In fact, many of the most active members report feeling spiritually stagnant. They've been attending services, volunteering, attending small...
And now her white overcoat is turned orange. Never mind.
groups, but they don't feel closer to God. They feel like consumers of religious products rather than transformed disciples. Hybels is shaken. In a moment of brutal honesty...
Okay, hold on. We've got Jack Paul in one of the chats.
Yes.
Jack
Why
Paul.
is it that every time somebody starts saying the most hateful, ridiculous bullshit, they immediately go, when they get called out, they're like, "Oh, but what about free speech?" We're not running around being, "Oh, free speech, free speech." No, that's you guys. We don't give a fuck what you think.
This is an opinion. Like what we're doing here is having a conversation and, sharing our opinions. That's not removing anybody's ability to speak freely. And freedom of speech doesn't mean you don't have freedom of consequences. So if you say something silly or dumb, then we have the right to speak back. And then you, with your free speech, could then counter. That's kind of how it works here, just so you know.
Yeah. Now, this specific show is simulcast on many channels. We're currently on 6 of them with 4 hosts. That's pretty fucking nifty, but that's part of the point of this show is we like seize the means of production and just spread it everywhere. Every channel you could be watching on probably has different rules. Most of them have rules about bigotry. On mine, for example, Better Than Ember, bigots get bans. If you say bigoted shit, you are done. No timeouts. You're just gone. And I don't care. I do not care. It's not a free speech space. It's a safe space. If you can't be a safe person to be around, you're not there. Shrug.
It's a wild pickles.
We're not this government.
It's a wild pickles.
Come back or you done? Are you coming back? Are you done with me? Are you coming up? I think she's done with me now. Are you coming up? Can you come up here? You want to say hi? Come on. There we go. Oh,
pajamas.
Little pickles. Oh, she got her pajamas on still. She's a sweepy little girl with her PJs. Little aliens, rocket ships, and Saturn.
Look over here when I said all that. Let me see. We're gonna do all this.
Oh, it's a matter of
Jester, Lord of Shenaniganery, dropped in to say $2. Thank you so much, Jester. And says free speech means the government can't censor you. I'm trying to find. Okay, there it is. Jesus Christ. There we go.
Can you see her? Because I'm kind of like her.
There we go.
I know the green screen.
Wig, or is that a
trying to
dog?
eat her.
She's eating. Yeah, your face.
So that's sugar. Everybody comes here for the pets. It is known. Oh shit!
Strangely
What have I
enough,
done?
mine have not made an
I'm
appearance.
ruining everything.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Okay. Let's. Damn it! I did it again.
I like you.
Okay, and maybe this one. There we go. See, there's buttons to make people full screen and shrink them back down, but the buttons tend to be hidden behind other things, like, for example, the live time counter that we get to see inside the studio here. If the button goes behind a counter, then I can't actually click it. And it's rude. But what I can click is this, a super chat from Amy Nicole Cervantes. For $2, who that's probably a super sticker, come to think of it, because there's no text there. But thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Thank you.
We have no idea which channel any of these are going to. We're just thanking in general, because again, we're on 6 different channels right now.
Me not know.
Yeah, but wherever it went, thank you. Yay! Support the. We're seizing the means of production, but the funding goes wherever the fuck it goes. You know.
Wherever that leads.
Yeah, it's fine. Kelly Laughlin sends a super chat for $2, and he
Thank
says,
you.
"Make 2026 the year of caring. Spread it around."
Spread them
It
legs.
would be nice if people cared more. You know, as the great poets once said, if everyone cared and nobody cried and everyone lived and nobody died, if everyone shared and swallowed their pride, then that'd be the day when nobody died. I probably fucked that up, but it's okay.
This will be the day.
Only 7 of you knew what the fuck I was talking about anyway.
We know you tried.
It's Nickelback. I know no one's heard it.
Nickelback.
Oh goodness. I have to scoot and get ready for the next show, which once again, we're doing ancient art, prehistoric art on Learn Together Live, coming up next over on my channel, Better Than Ember. The link will appear on some of your channels, some of them not. It's Better Than Ember. Badoop, right there. So
Badoop.
Hopefully you'll join us. It'll be a great time. And enjoy
I guess I'll
your
meet you
Jugs
there.
and Java.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning,
Thank
Ember. It was good to
you.
see you. And hopefully everybody will follow on over to your channel after this. Anybody want to shill anything before they go?
Happy New Year.
Ah. You want to go first, Liv? Because you're the one that got the exciting news, not me.
You're muted, honey. You're muted, baby. You're muted. Is she?
Emil.
Is her maybe her all her sounds
Oh
out?
my god, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
On the Kentucky Atheist on Politicality on Thursdays, I am now co-hosting it. So that will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so make sure you're subscribed to Lil of All Trades and to what is
The
Joe's
Kentucky
channel?
Atheist.
The Kentucky Atheist, right? Okay, excellent. Kelly, my dear.
Right now, I do not have anything this week. I had a show with Kelly Laughlin and Godless Granny, but both of us are not feeling the greatest, so there will not be a show this week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But future, I'm having a birthday stream on Martin Luther King Day from 7 to 9 p.m. It will be a few people, maybe these ladies.
Yes, we'll be there. Happy birthday.
And that's basically it in the future. Oh, and I'm doing my tech check this week so I can be on Truth Wanted on the 16th.
Wow,
So
big things.
That's what's going on in the near future. And me and Empress Apostate are working on some things too. And this month that we're going to be doing. So those are some things that's going on in my life.
Great. Okay. Well, make sure y'all follow Detroit Atheist Queen, and make sure you're subscribed to Truth Wanted so you can see when she appears on there and give her some support. Was there something else? Did I cut you off? No.
That's it. I'm
Okay.
done.
All right. And as for me, y'all know where to find me. I am here Monday through Friday at my own channel, A Goddess or Ryan Caltastic. Either one, you should be able to find them. And I create all kinds of content, politics, religion, you name it. I can't shut my mouth. Sorry, can't help it. So please stay tuned for Better Than Ember up next. And don't forget to join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. with me and Chris on the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Love you guys so much. I appreciate you being here. You don't have to spend your time here, but you do. And we love that. And we love that for you.
You better.
So, you better freaking love it. Bye, guys. Be good to
Monday.
each other.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, hello.